Get ready for a magical journey as we dive into the AI-generated animated recap of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, written by the talented J.K. Rowling, where young Harry Potter's extraordinary destiny unfolds amidst mystical spells, ancient secrets, and unforgettable friendships. Immerse yourself in the world of Hogwarts. If you're a fan of The Boy Who Lived, be sure to like the video and comment below with your favorite character from the series. Let the magic begin. On a dark and stormy night on Privet Drive in England, a mysterious wizard named Albus Dumbledore and a witch named Minerva McGonagall are leaving a newborn baby with a lightning scar on his forehead at the doorstep of the Dursleys. The baby is Harry Potter. Fast forward 11 years and Harry is living in a cupboard under the stairs with his cruel aunt and uncle and their bullying son Dudley. He does all the housework and is treated much like Cinderella. On Dudley's 11th birthday, Harry accompanies the family to the zoo. While Harry is in the reptile house, he stops to admire a large snake. To his surprise, he begins to hear the snake talk to him. The snake seems to understand Harry. While Harry is talking to the snake, the glass panel of the snake's enclosure suddenly vanishes. The snake escapes, causing a commotion among the zoo visitors. Harry is unable to explain the incident, but his uncle blames him anyway. One day, he gets a mysterious letter, but his uncle won't let him see it. Things get out of hand. So they travel to a remote shack on an island on the night before Harry's 11th birthday. As the clock strikes midnight and Harry wishes himself a silent happy birthday, there is a loud bang on the door, and knocking down the door is a giant of a man, Hagrid. He has come to deliver Harry's letter personally. It turns out to be an acceptance letter to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Hagrid introduces himself as the keeper of the keys at Hogwarts and then explains that Harry is a wizard who has been admitted to Hogwarts in order to study magic. Harry discovers that the Dursleys have always been aware of his magical abilities and his parents' past. The following day, Hagrid takes Harry to Diagon Alley in London to shop for school supplies. Their first stop is the Wizarding Bank, Gringotts, where Harry is shown to his family vault and realizes that his parents have left him with a comfortable fortune of wizarding gold. During their trip to the bank, Hagrid makes a stop at Vault 713 and removes a mysterious package. After the bank, Harry gets his magic wand, but turns out it's a brother wand to the wizard who gave him his lightning scar, the evil Lord Voldemort. We don't speak his name, he's just he who must not be named. Hagrid buys Harry a snowy owl as a birthday present, and he also sheds light on Harry's past that Voldemort, or he who must not be named, was a dark force who terrorized England until he killed Harry's parents, and then Harry bounced the spell back and defeated him. Harry becomes the only living person ever to survive the killing curse, and the only sign of his encounter with Voldemort is a unique lightning bolt-shaped scar on his forehead. For school, the train leaves from the imaginary platform 9 3/4. Luckily, Harry finds a red-headed wizard family that shows him how to get on, and boom, it's the Hogwarts Express. Harry befriends Ron Weasley, a fellow first-year student. The two boys also meet Hermione Granger, who read all of her spell books over the summer. Harry also meets Neville Longbottom, a slightly dopey first year with a pet frog named Trevor, and Draco Malfoy, an unpleasant student who arrogantly offers to advise Harry on who to be friends with. Hogwarts is a magical castle with an awesome Great Hall. The headmaster is Albus Dumbledore, wisest, kindest, and most powerful wizard in the world. The students immediately file into the dining hall to be sorted or assigned to one of the 4 houses of Hogwarts: Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw. Harry worries that he will be sorted into Voldemort's old house, Slytherin, and he makes a special request to the Sorting Hat to be assigned to any other house. The Sorting Hat considers carefully, but ultimately places Harry as well as Ron and Hermione in Gryffindor house. So they start learning some magic. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. They've got some nice teachers like the stern but fair Professor McGonagall. Although most of his classes are enjoyable, Professor Snape, Potions Master, who for no apparent reason seems to hate Harry most of all. During their first flying lesson, Neville breaks his wrist and must be taken to the hospital wing by the instructor. Malfoy grabs Neville's Remembrall, forgotten after his injury, and flies into the air with it. Harry flies after Malfoy to retrieve Neville's toy and, when Malfoy throws the Remembrall to the ground, makes a spectacular dive to catch the Remembrall mere inches from hitting the wall. Professor McGonagall observes Harry's skilled flying, and instead of punishing him for breaking the rules, sets him up to play Seeker on the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Once the trio accidentally enter a forbidden corridor and come across a three-legged dog standing guard over a trapdoor. They leave the corridor quickly. On Halloween, the faculty is alerted of a wayward troll in the school and escort the students back to their houses. Harry and Ron sneak away to find Hermione, who is in the girls' bathroom, and miss the warning. After inadvertently locking the troll in the girls' bathroom with Hermione, Ron and Harry knock the troll unconscious. Hermione takes the blame for the battle, and the three become fast friends. During Harry's first Quidditch match, his broom is jinxed by a mysterious source. Hermione and Ron assume that Snape is jinxing Harry after Hermione sees Snape muttering to himself. She sets Snape's robes on fire in time for Harry to regain control of his broom and win the game with a spectacular catch. Harry stays at Hogwarts with Ron over the Christmas holidays and spends time playing wizard's chess and researching Nicholas Flamel, who Hagrid accidentally mentioned in connection with the package from Vault 713. On Christmas morning, Harry is surprised to receive numerous presents, including a rare invisibility cloak. The note accompanying the cloak says that it belonged to Harry's father. That night, Harry decides to try out his invisibility cloak and comes across a large mirror in the middle of a room. When he looks in the mirror, he sees his dead parents staring back at him. The next night, Harry rushes back to the room to see his family in the mirror and is surprised by Professor Dumbledore, who has been waiting for him. Dumbledore explains that the mirror of Erised reveals the deepest desires of a person's heart, but cannot give truth or knowledge. Dumbledore also tells Harry that the mirror will be moved to a new location the following day and Harry should not try to find it again. After the holidays end, Harry, Ron and Hermione finally discover the identity of Nicholas Flamel. He is the only known maker of the Sorcerer's Stone, which produces the elixir of life. They realize that the three-headed dog is guarding the Sorcerer's Stone, and Harry begins to suspect that Snape is planning to steal it. Harry, Ron and Hermione also discover that Hagrid is raising an illegal dragon that was given to him by a mysterious stranger in a bar in exchange for information about the three-headed dog. As punishment for disobeying school curfew, Harry, Ron and Hermione as well as Malfoy, who were also out of bed at the time, are sent into the Forbidden Forest with Hagrid. When the group splits into two, Harry and Malfoy come across the body of the unicorn just as a hooded figure crawls toward it and starts to drink its blood. Malfoy screams and runs away, but Harry is frozen in place by an agonizing pain that is suddenly spreading from his scar. As the hooded figure moves toward him, a centaur gallops in front of Harry protectively and the figure disappears. The centaur suggests that the hooded figure was Voldemort and that he drank the unicorn's blood in order to stay alive until he can steal the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry decides to steal the Sorcerer's Stone before Voldemort can. Neville tries to stop them from going into the Forbidden Corridor. He does so because he's concerned about the consequences of breaking school rules, especially given that Gryffindor has already lost a significant number of points for rule breaking. Despite his efforts, Harry, Ron and Hermione proceed with their plan. They sneak off to the Forbidden Corridor and get past the three-headed dog by lulling it to sleep with music. Once through the trapdoor, they land on Devil's Snare, the first of several challenges put in place by the Hogwarts teachers. As the plant's snake-like tendrils threaten to strangle Ron and Harry, Hermione uses magical fire to repel the plant and break them free. The next challenge is to pass through a room filled with hundreds of small flying keys. Harry flies on a broomstick to find the silver key that matches the lock on the door and finally snatches it out of the swarm. The door opens to reveal a giant wizard's chessboard. An expert chess player, Ron takes the lead in this challenge and ultimately sacrifices himself in order to allow Harry and Hermione to reach the next challenge. While Hermione returns to help Ron, Harry moves to Final Chamber. In the Final Chamber, Harry is surprised to find neither Snape nor Voldemort, but Professor Quirrell, the meek-tempered teacher of defense against the dark arts, and the mirror of Erised. Quirrell reveals that he, not Snape, has been Voldemort's servant all along. Quirrell jinxed Harry's broom during the Quidditch match and drank the unicorn's blood in the Forbidden Forest. Now, in the final challenge, Quirrell needs only to retrieve the Sorcerer's Stone from within the mirror of Erised. He asks his master for help, and Harry hears a disembodied voice speak from within Quirrell, telling him to use Harry to get to it. Quirrell stands Harry in front of the mirror and orders him to tell him what he sees. Determined to keep the stone from falling into Voldemort's hands, Harry lies and tells Quirrell that he sees himself winning the Quidditch Cup for Gryffindor. He then actually sees himself holding the Sorcerer's Stone and putting it in his pocket. Realizing that the stone is now in his pocket, Harry tries to stall for time until he can escape. Quirrell removes his turban and reveals Voldemort's face emerging from the back of his head. Voldemort speaks directly to Harry, taunting him about the death of his parents, and then orders Quirrell to kill him. When Quirrell tries to touch Harry, his skin blisters, and though Harry is in excruciating pain from his scar, he forces the contact with Quirrell. With Voldemort's screams of anger echoing in his head, Harry finally passes out. When Harry wakes up, he finds himself in the hospital wing with Dumbledore. Dumbledore found Harry just in time to keep Quirrell from killing him, though Voldemort escaped once again. Dumbledore explains that Quirrell was unable to touch Harry's skin because of his mother's love. When Lily Potter sacrificed herself for him, she left Harry with an ancient magical protection. He knew that only Harry would be able to retrieve the stone from the mirror of Erised because, unlike Quirrell and Voldemort, Harry wanted to find the stone but did not want to use it. Although Voldemort was not destroyed, Harry's actions have kept him from regaining power for now. At the end of the year banquet, the members of Slytherin House are celebrating their victory of the House Cup for the 7th straight year. Unexpectedly, Dumbledore awards last-minute points to Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville, which gives Gryffindor the edge over Slytherin. Harry returns to the Dursleys for the summer, eagerly awaiting his next year at Hogwarts. If you enjoyed this spellbinding recap, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more enchanted content. Stay tuned for more magical stories and adventures from the wizarding world. Until next time, keep the magic alive.